Right, guys, how's it going? Hope you've had a good day. So we do have a article from Steele today that I'm going to go over in a video with you. Seems to be making a bit of a name for himself. All the Liverpool aggregator accounts over on X are always on hanging on to his every word. So we'll go through the bit of the article, pull out little bits. Can't obviously read the whole thing out to you because it is behind a paywall. But we'll pull out little bits here and there and see what we think of it, shall we? I've also received an email from one of you guys, Uncle Dave, as you like to be called in the comments. I've read it, mate. I'll get back to you a bit later on, pal. If anyone else does want to reach out with any things you want to, mention on, like maybe the stream on a Monday, for instance, lfcakm@outlook.com, and it comes straight through to me, guys. Right then. If you do end up liking this video as well, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and all that jargon stuff anyway. So, this is titled by Steele, basically, why Liverpool could hold trump card in 5-team race to seal 95 million double transfer raid, plus the Stars being chased by Premier League rivals this summer. So, it says here that Liverpool are plotting a 95 million double swoop on Bournemouth this summer. I wonder who that could... who could that be about? 50 million for Huijsen, 45 for Kerkez. Oh, never would it? Anyway, Milos Kerkez is a top target, and central defender Dean Huijsen, 20, is also a player of high interest despite fierce competition from Chelsea and others. Huijsen is definitely on the list to improve the centre-half department, but Liverpool are not alone in their pursuit, as Chelsea, Arsenal and Newcastle have all been credited with interest in the Spanish international. We've heard that before. Sources have told Confidential that Chelsea are the frontrunners to sign him, but Liverpool are still in the picture. I'm sure I've read something somewhere today where it's like Chelsea are leading the race to sign Huijsen, but the player prefers Arsenal or Liverpool or something. Like, can't sit on the fence anymore than that, can you? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, it's also understood that Huijsen has admirers at Barca and Bayern Munich, and he's got a 50 million release clause, which we already know about. Scouts have noted how Huijsen has old school defensive traits, but is also a modern light player who is comfortable in possession. Real Madrid have also been credited with an interest in him, and his father, Don Huijsen, has shared newspaper reports from Spain linking his son to Real Madrid on Instagram. Now, this is the thing if we sign Dean Huijsen. He's just turned 20, I think. So you probably get him, if we do sign him, till he's 25. And then I think he'll end up moving on to Real Madrid, guys. We're going to be a stepping stone for this kid. You know, he's a Spanish international. He's going to want to play in Spain at some point. We won't get him for his prime years. So it's one of them, innit? It's one of those risks you take. But he's a good player. I'd bring him in straight away. In all fairness, I really would. But yeah, that will always be at the back of my mind. That if Real Madrid come knocking when he's at Liverpool, is that going to cause some shit for us further down the line? Do you know what I mean? And I also think as well that if Real Madrid were to come in for him this summer, he'd go there straight away and he'd pick them over us 100%. Kerkez will be available for around 45 million. Andy Robertson is 31, while Shimikas is perhaps not a long-term ready-made replacement, as they need to upgrade that department. Kanate is out of contract next summer with zero progress made in recent months in terms of an extension, which I've said that if he doesn't sign an extension this summer, guys, I'm selling him. While Gomez and Kwanzaa also have external suitors, Newcastle last summer. If Huijsen ends up elsewhere, it feels like this summer for Liverpool to upgrade the centre-half department. Everton's Jared Branthwaite has previously been mentioned as a potential target. I also think he'll be a lot more expensive than the 50 million you probably spend on Huijsen as well. I think they'll end up looking at like, 70, 80 million will Everton for him? English tax and all that, do you know what I mean? So I can't see that happening. Liverpool will also want a striker with Nunez's future uncertain, and a midfielder could also be targeted, which we already kind of know. And then he just goes on to mention here that Bournemouth are interested in a couple of Liverpool players, Kelleher, Elliott and Ben Doak. Kelleher has been vocal in his desire to move away to be a first-choice keeper, while Alisson is in no rush to leave and Mamadashvili is joining this summer. Elliott, the midfielder, has not given up on making it at Liverpool, but the under-21 star has barely featured this season after a nasty foot injury saw him miss 2 months in autumn. He will not be forced out of the door, but many teams are interested in signing him. And Ben Doak saw his stint at Middlesbrough cut short due to injury. Bournemouth and Crystal Palace were among those that tried to sign him, could try to sign him this summer, while also Ipswich are also expressed an interest in January. And that is basically the article, guys, there. I mean, you know, quick to go over that again. Huijsen, yeah, he's on the list, but I think he'll end up going somewhere else. Or if we did get him, he wouldn't be like here for his career. Do you know what I mean? Kirkes, I think, is pretty much nailed on. I think he may even be the first signing through the door this summer. I would not be surprised by that. Kelleher, yeah, probably going to move on. Kanate, I'd sell him if we don't get a contract for him. Harvey Elliott, I think you probably keep him. Ben Doak, you probably do end up selling him. What else were they saying? Shimikas, I'd sell him over Robbo. And then you probably do end up moving on one of Gomez or Kwanzaa, I believe, in all fairness, guys. And you probably end up signing 2 centre-backs this summer. But there you have it, guys. That's it for this article. There was something about Julian Alvarez as well that seems to be doing the rounds again. And I'd be all over him coming into Liverpool. I really would as our new number 9. I think he would absolutely fit the Arne Slot system with like a T. I really do. But that might be a video we do later on, guys. Anyway, let me know down below what you think about all of this. And I'll catch you in the next one.